Welcome to the Sons and Daughters of Amazon. One man, 10 products, 200 students on a 12-month journey. And why is that? Well, at the end of the day, guys, most Amazon courses that are out there just now are weeks, and you cannot build a brand in weeks. You can get the foundations of a brand moving in weeks, and that is something that I wanted to jump in with. This is the first ever 12-month Amazon program where one man, 10 products, live, raw, uncensored feedback. Now, I'm going to be giving you that feedback weekly to every single person, every single member who jumps in tonight. Now, you're going to be getting demonstrations on how I bring the products to market with my 10 student partners. You can then follow those footprints to bring your own products to market. And then we're going to be showing you how we execute all of those products inside social search across Twitter, across Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and inside, most importantly, the keyword mastery of Amazon itself. This is what this movement is all about. And of course, you do need months, not weeks, to make that happen. The Sons and Daughters of Amazon is a weekly journey about the real formula for success on and off Amazon. There's just 50 free spaces remain tonight, guys. And over on the right-hand side, you will see a little tab that says offers. I have to say to you that if you do want to jump in, a lot of you have been following me, then you can take that offer up. That offer link is now live, and all you have to do is click on that and I want in now, and you can sign up immediately. You don't have to wait for the end of the webinar, but I can guarantee you by the end of this webinar, those positions will be sold out. So my brand building system is an industry first, and it is road tested to the max, as I become the first Amazon coach to go on a 12-month brand building journey with you. Now, there's not very many coaches out there, especially in Amazon or physical product training for that matter, who will put their money where their mouth is almost and say, I'm going to show you what my skill is all about, and I'm also going to then put that right down the food chain to you guys so that you can implement it into your own business while you're starting your physical product journey. If you are an existing Amazon seller, then you're probably experiencing significant problems in your sales, and that's the reason why you're on tonight. And again, we'll go into that further on in the webinar. Putting my money where my mouth is what it's all about, sharing every single win and loss for you to apply straight into your own business in real time. Plus, we're going to have live weekly coaching calls. Now, you're going to have me on tap, guys, for the next 52 weeks. When I says, give me a why if you can hear me, I think actually what I meant was, can you understand me? You got to listen to my Scottish accent. But let me tell you, we've got some amazing systems. We've got some of the best marketers in the world that you're going to be introduced to as a special guest. And one of them is on tonight anyway, just to reinforce the movement of what's happening inside Amazon. Now, who is this course for? Who is Sons of Amazoners for? Well, I have to let you know that this movement is about to save existing Amazon sellers who are witnessing the fallout from the recent changes. This is going to create new power sellers within Amazon from scratch. And of course, this is going to change lives through the power of education, which is something that's very impactful, and I will come to at the end of this webinar. What is this not for? Well, this is not for get rich quickers. I don't even think that that's a word, but I think it sounds pretty cool, so I used it. Non-action takers. If you don't want to take action, if you think that you want to lie on a beach, you can lie on a beach with a laptop. Make sure you've got a strong internet connection, but you will be dialed in. This is for action takers, guys. This is for people who want to build a brand and exit or become a very, very clever marketer and partner with myself, all of which will be revealed over the coming months ahead inside the Sons of Amazoners movement. So those not interested in months of learning, well, again, guys, this is not for you. If you think that you're just going to be in this in a couple of weeks or a month, you're going to pick up absolutely everything and crush sales on Amazon or in e-commerce, then this course is not for you. So you'd be as well just jumping out right now. Now, in the next 60 minutes, for you joining me, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to give back to you, and that is how to identify a brand building opportunity. What I'm also going to do is unlock the sales figures behind the keywords and products on Amazon. Believe it or not, a lot of software tools out there will bring you back figures, but we can unlock the numbers around any type or any single keyword variation. We can unlock the numbers that are behind there, identifying what sort of products that you can bring to market even before you do it. You're also going to learn how to track dozens of ideas. What takes others months on market research or competitive analysis will take you literally just 24 hours with a piece of software that you guys are going to be gifted access for being live on tonight's webinar. Now, I'm also going to show you how to crowdfund your first factory order. It's always something that I get asked on, how can I fund that first order, right? Using a strategy that allowed me to pay for my first container before the product was even manufactured. How cool is that? So you don't need to even, I'm going to show you how to pretty much crowdfund yourself using the power of Twitter. Those of you who know me will understand that I've been listed as a Twitter success story, and I hold a 22.6% conversion rate inside Twitter's ad platform. But that'll be enough about that. So what's my gift to you for coming on the webinar tonight? Well, for those who stay till the end of this webinar, I'm gifting you a free branded website worth $2,800. There's a reason for that, and it's because Amazon is looking at brand signals, but I'm not going to go too deep into that on this particular slide, but that is one of the gifts that you will receive from me. Plus, you are going to receive 90-day access to the Profits Engine software, which is a $1,200 annual fee. My promise to you, and this is a cast iron guarantee, is that when you sign up at the end of this webinar into the Sons and Daughters of Amazon, into the mass conversions movement, you will have one fee, and that is your annual fee, and there will be no upsells, because every single Amazon course that you set, there will be an upsell to learn more. Do you want to learn about Facebook? That's another 3,000. Do you want to learn about Twitter? That's another 4,000. Do you want to learn how to source in China? Give me another 3,000. That I want you to keep that money so that you can grow your business, and I want you to keep your money so that you can get on the road to success. And really, that's what that's all about. That's so important for me. I don't want your money. I want you to pay one fee. I'm all for skin in the game, but I want you to put your fee in, and as soon as you've got your annual subscription in place, then every single piece of content and strategies and techniques and softwares that we bring out, you will get access to them to help you implement them and grow your own physical product business. I also have a mega bonus for all registrants at the end, which I'll disclose. But first, who am I? A little introduction to you if you're new to me. A lot of you have came through my Facebook feed anyway. My name is Michael Devlin. I'm a Startup 100 award-winning e-commerce marketer and product inventor. A lot of people don't know that I don't just brand products. I've actually invented products, holding 8 patents in the physical product space. I generated over 5 million e-commerce sales and produced over $14 million collectively for my clients and Amazon students internationally. And here is one of the worst pictures that you're ever likely to see of me. I hate sharing it, but unfortunately I have to, because this is the one of the clippings of when the deal came through, or when the news broke that I sold my previous physical product. And my recent physical product business that I started on Amazon made sales of just over 1.3 million in 24 months, and it was acquired in May 2015. I just wish that they gave me some notice and a heads up and at least let me fix my hair. But anyway, that's by the by. So every one of my e-commerce brands have been acquired, and there's a reason for that, guys. And I want yours to be acquired as well. Why? Well, I always apply brand building principles, and this is something that Amazon is starting to look closely at, and we have analytical and number proof that this is exactly what Amazon is looking at. I'm getting absolutely flooded with questions here, so I just want to make sure that I'm going to answer all the questions at the very end. So can you just make sure that if you've got any questions, do put them in the Q&A, and what I'm going to do is I'll answer them right at the very end. Now, I can see the Amazon screen. That's perfect. Shelley, thank you very much for giving me a heads up on that. So you can see the Amazon screen, so I'm just going to push forward, and you can hear me. Someone says it sounds intermittent. Guys, can I just get a Y that everything's okay on the sound so that we can proceed forward? Just give me a yes, please, if the sound is loud and clear. Cedric says yes. Tony says yes. Anybody else? Any problems? Shelley, yes. YY, Mark, Keith, excellent, superb. Okay, guys, so let's push forward. So To find the product that's working for you for the moment, I'm going to stick on the old cycling gloves movement. And cycling gloves, some of the students will be laughing at this one because I use this as a brand building opportunity, because it's a prime example of to give any newbie or an existing Amazon seller who's looking for a brand opportunity to explode into another user base. So if we go through here, guys, and we have a look at, you'll see that there's tons of cycling gloves here. Some of these, just because they're organically indexed in the middle of Amazon or at the top page of Amazon, doesn't necessarily mean they are the best sellers. So what we can do is to find out if we have brand building opportunities in a particular product, we will click inside and we will scroll down. Now, don't worry too much about the review count and all of this part here in the product description, because you're going to be taught about from the very best on how to make the best converting copy, images, and so on and so forth. But what we see here is we see something from Amazon, and it is customers who bought this item also bought. Now, this gives me a distinct indication that if I was bringing out cycling gloves and I'm building up that database, I can then bring out, for example, a thermal fleece cycling jacket that will then allow me to expand my brand into the same user base. And this is what brand building behavior is about, guys. And if we then take that into our website and we take the consumer base, the thousands of orders that we get off of Amazon every month, and we get that database interacted and out and into our own movement, then we can start pitching our new products to our customers. And we've got a really cool and in line with Amazon term of service way on how we can do that. So I can, someone just says, all good in Jersey too. Thanks very much for that, Carlos. So that's brand building opportunity, guys, and this is something that I want you to focus on. And you might be saying, well, how do I know? This is just a conundrum. I don't know really what's happening, what kind of numbers are behind here. And this is where the Amazon product engine kicks in. And this is an algorithm that we have built with over $18 million worth of transactional data and about 12.6 million in sterling UK data. Now, you can actually check any product on Amazon right now, either via direct ASIN, which is the Amazon seller ID number, or the keyword, and it will bring you back its details. So for the purposes of everybody who is on the webinar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch in cycling gloves and just hit enter. And this one here is Amazon US. And what the analysis tool will do is it will go out and it will bring me back the best selling designs for those key terms. Now, if we change the key terms here, so let's say, for example, for men, and we hit analysis once again, what will happen is the searches will completely change, all the products will change, and the numbers will change. So again, you want to go through all of that process, and you can see here, even for cycling gloves for men, you can see a brand building opportunity for a pair of cycling pants that are padded, which is obviously a problem for cycling, evidently so. So if you were wanting to bring that out, then that's a perfect example of brand building opportunities. And you can do this with any niche and any product that is being sold currently on Amazon. Now, I did say at the start that you were going to get access to a full branded website, and that is something that you will get, and I'll display that to you in a little while as we progress forward. But the other thing that you can do, guys, if you're stuck with multiple different ideas and you don't really know what idea to bring to market, maybe you've got half a dozen of ideas, maybe you've got, I don't know, you've got ideas across multiple different niches. What you can do is you can actually add these to your idea bank. And when you do that, and here's one I did earlier, is if we just click in here and we look at the idea bank, for example, and we go across to competitive analysis, what the system will do is it will actually bring you back all of the sales in real time, and it will give you them, it will give you the sales units of what these units, of what that particular ASIN product is currently doing, and how many units per day. Have they dropped the product price? It will tell you the date. You can see here that on the 8th February the 18th, it was $13.99, and that will then give you an indication, did that actually trigger sales, for example. You can see here this has probably been an out of stock date for this particular product. And if we scroll down here, then we have a look at how the sales and obviously the price point combined with the sales and the velocity actually impacts on the Amazon seller rank. Now, the lower the rank, that means the higher you are in the listings, and that is something that we specialize in with with the training courses and the Sons of Amazon movement, all of which you will be getting access to. Japan can hear me loud and clear as well. Thanks very much, guys. That's excellent to know. So this is your competitive analysis tool. Everybody who is on the webinar tonight, guess what? You guys have got 90-day free access to this so that you can find, maybe you've got a product, you're wanting to bring out another product into it to complement it, to boost sales. Maybe you're wanting to find out what a competitor is doing over and above you. There's a whole ton of stuff in here. I'm not going to go into too much about this because next week, everybody who signs up to the Sons and Daughters of Amazon movement, I will be doing again another live webinar where I'll be giving you a full introduction to the power of the Profits Engine system. Now, are you guys seeing the presentation again? Can everybody let me know that we are back on the presentation? Can you just give me a Y? Everybody give me a Y and let me know that you're back on the presentation screen and out of Amazon. Just give me a yes, please. Know that we've got quite a few people hitting us with Ys now, which is excellent. George, yes, thanks, buddy. Cedric, Gary, Jason, yes, brilliant, awesome. Thanks, Shelley. So again, we're just going to steam forward into the presentation. The other reason why I made the decision to become directly involved with my students is the following. Now, I have to say, guys, that Amazon has changed big time. Now, if you're an Amazon seller, then you have probably experienced that you had great sales and your sales have tanked big time. And I have to say that is something as an Amazon coach that I have inherited over, in fact, 26 students who have came from high-level courses, one of the biggest courses in the world that is very well known on Amazon, and I've got 26 of those students that I've had to rescue out the other end. I've actually got examples of 2 of the numbers because that's not what this is all about. But it's also to let you know that the days of putting a product on Amazon and just leaving it are gone. This is all about brand signals now. This is about building a brand on Amazon. And Amazon has changed big time because what once worked for all is now being used to target one-trick pony private label sellers intent on gaming the system by Amazon. Now, Amazon is a shopping engine, very similar to the way Google is a search engine. And when Google finds out that there's a whole ton of people or a whole ton of links trying to game its system to get to the top of the indexing so that it's found for a particular key phrase, Amazon is very similar, and Amazon is using the same strategies similar to Google to find out who are these brands that are all doing the same thing. Are they driving a whole ton of traffic in here for a discounted purchase? Are they driving a whole ton of traffic in here on a keyword just to try and ramp up the system, but real no brand gameplay here? There's no website, there's no social signals, there's no channels, there's no brand interaction. This is something that Amazon is looking at, and Amazon Exclusives, which is one of their own new movements that they've brought out, is that they're looking for brands to come in exclusively with Amazon, and they don't want you to sell your product anywhere else. Now, that's a signal that Amazon is going to get competition probably from the likes of Walmart. But what that tells us is that if we build a brand, Amazon's going to reward us and it's going to come after us, and that is pretty special, and it is worth a lot of money, guys. This is where acquisitions happen. Not just I'm not talking with Amazon, but what I'm talking about with competition. This is it's a massive opportunity right now for you to get a physical product into the market. Now, when I say that all methods are dying fast, this is exactly what I meant. Here is a typical Amazon seller who is part of that movement. It was one of the largest movements in the world for Amazon. They were selling up at over 51K per month. And you can see here over on the left-hand side, this is actually their sales for this period here. And you can see that they're coasting away at 52K per month. Pretty cool, right? So this is February to October, November, December 2050, 51K per month. But look what happened as soon as Amazon starts to identify that actually this isn't really brand behavior. And what it's done is it actually dipped below 13,000. It's actually fallen again. Now, thankfully, I've literally only taken this particular client on as a high growth student, and we will reverse and turn them around. And I've got examples of turning that around as well. And here's another student, for example, who is in the exact, or was in the exact same movement. And again, if you look at last year's figures like so, were 381,470 for sales, and you can see this graph's very strong, the red one. But this year, this is on the blue graph, and as soon as Amazon is identified that it's doing the same kind of mass techniques and strategies that are being branded about out there, look at where the sales are headed. Now, of course, what we have to do is we have to spike that back up this way. And I'm going to show you examples of my student sales where over a 2-year period, they have always, the blue is always flown above the red. But again, we can all sit here all night and show graphs, and it's all about the interview time. And this is where I've invited a really good friend of mine. He is a top guy, very well known in the Amazon movement. His name is John Gill. I so hope that we don't have any technical problems where we can't get him on the line, but if we can't get him on the line, what I can guarantee you is next week we will do a live conference call and we'll have them for everybody who subscribes. But we're going to try and get him on the line. But a little bit about John first. John Gill is a fellow 7-figure Amazon seller and coach. Now, he's done so much to help a lot of students. He runs a very, very successful mastermind group in China also, and he sells $1 million a month on Amazon. And the purpose of this whole entire interview tonight with John is to let you hear what is happening. So guys, can I get a hell yes that we've managed to get John Gill on the webinar? We've got.
I couldn't figure out Skype. I couldn't figure out the webinar thing. So it just goes to show you that anybody can do this thing.
Anybody can do it. Absolutely. So John, I've got a bunch of questions that obviously. I'm so happy to have. First of all, thanks for taking time out your busy schedule for joining me and joining everybody, all the sons and daughters of Amazon who are about to jump on the course with us on the 12-month journey. I just want to kind of clarify with yourself the changes that you have seen happen to Amazon in Amazon, and also from when you started all the way right through till now, and how the game has changed.
Michael, thanks for having me on. I'm really honored to be honest and be speaking to your group. You're an amazing guy, great friend, unbelievable character. So for you to ask me to be part of this and to speak on your webinar, I'm flattered and honored.
Thank you.
And humbled as well. But to answer your question, changes, oh my God, where do you start? I mean, this is not the same business that I got into 3 years ago. And it's actually not the same business that it was 6 months ago. And the funny thing, you ask, what are some of the changes? I think one of the biggest changes that I noticed is the speed in which now Amazon changes.
Yeah, I can testify to that. That's for sure.
Before, things would work for a while, and then, they would kind of slowly change. Now, from 1 month to the next, things that worked last month aren't working this month. So Amazon is rapidly making changes. So it's critical to be, on top of things. It's critical to stay ahead or stay with the changes of Amazon, which I think is important. And I love what you're doing with the 12-month program, because the fact that you're communicating and interacting with your students on a regular basis, every week, every month, for 12 months, it really helps them stay ahead of those changes.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I highlighted, and you and I discussed this at length in Clearwater as well, is that there's so many courses out there, some great education, some real good stuff, but there's some stuff that's incomplete that the students kind of get dropped off and they're left at a really critical point. And that means then they then try and go and find another guru or maybe try and drive traffic when they're not quite ready. And I think that they actually need this kind of environment, which is the reason and what inspired me to launch massconversions.com, because that allows them to have their entire education pool for one fixed annual fee with no upsell, so that they can focus on pushing all of that money back into their inventory to grow their business and their changes. But like you said, it's a completely unrecognizable business, and it's changing constantly every single month.
And for that reason, you mentioned some of these courses, and you alluded to it earlier. Some of these courses at one time were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, because of some of these courses, I'm here to having this conversation with you and your group.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
So I'm incredibly grateful and blessed to have been part of that and to have found some of those courses. But, because Amazon is changing so rapidly, these courses can't stay ahead. And they have no idea.
And it's not just, I mean, the courses and initially, and anything that teaches you in life to be a better person or be better at something is priceless, in my opinion, John. So I totally get that. But the thing for me is that courses are not moving in line or not given the transparency that the students are needing. For example, they're showing screenshots of maybe 200, 300K, but really not showing the net profit behind that. Is that 8% net profit? How much stock do I have to keep in there? How much money do I need to even get started? Is it $10,000, $15,000, $20,000? Some of them are, I've seen some courses saying that you can get to market with $500, which is just not going to be possible. It's just not possible.
No, especially today.
Not today. Definitely not. So, I mean, that is one of the things. So again, and how do you see the future of Amazon moving, John?
Well, I mean, I do agree with you that Amazon is definitely focusing on brands. You know, I've seen that, and I've talked to people internally. I visited Amazon, their headquarters in Seattle twice, and they are looking for brands. Their interest is in brands. And what it does for the consumer as well is it does create a lot more credibility. So if someone goes into your Amazon store and they see, you know, an iPhone case, a pillow, a water balloon, I mean, where you're all over the place and no brands, it doesn't give you a lot of credibility. But if you go in there and you see a camping tent, a camping lantern, a camping stove, you know, where you're building a brand around a niche, it does give more credibility, makes you look like a real company. So I think it's powerful when it comes to creating credibility with the consumer. But Amazon is also looking at that. And again, you and I were talking about this earlier with Amazon Exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can see that that Amazon's trend is heading that way.
100%, and it's weird, and of course we know that they're going to charge us that little bit more, but I think Amazon also knows that the click and collect is going to be massive. They're making a play right now. Amazon's making a play to get a move on into the bricks and mortar where you can literally go in and pay with your Amazon account for clothes that you've seen online. And I think the whole click and collect thing is where the play is going to be at. And I think Walmart is really positioned, and I've said this in multiple podcasts. I was on the Unstoppable podcast last week where I mentioned the click and collect being a massive play, but that's a massive opportunity for us as e-commerce sellers, John. So that can only get better for us, but only if we focus on the brand building endeavor.
Absolutely. You know, I get people asking me all the time, you know, if I still think this Amazon opportunity is a good opportunity. And what I tell them is, you know, or is it as good as it was when I first started? And my answer is it's better, although it's different.
Yeah.
So if you stay down that path, you're not going to get the results, which is why a lot of people are struggling right now, because they're following the old methods that have changed. It's just simply they've changed. So because Amazon's changed. So you know, and what I'm asking about the changes, again, comes back to products. You know, for me, one of the things that I talk about and teach a lot is, now this is just my opinion, one of the most important skills that I think that you need to master in this business is product selection.
Yes.
Because you can be great at everything else, but if you have a crappy product, and when I mean crappy, I don't necessarily mean bad quality. You know, if you pick the wrong product, you're dead in the water. And you know, the other thing that I noticed too is that, and it's, you see it more and more every day, is what I call the Amazon product life cycle.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been bitten by that. So I had products that I was, you know, near the top of page one, where I was selling 80 to 100 units a day, making $22 net on a product. And that same product is still at the top of page one, 10 times more reviews than it had before. And it sells 20 a day. And I'm lucky if I make $7, $8 on it. Why? Because more competition, more copycats, more Me Too products, hijackers, all those different things. And again, it's part of that life cycle. If you look at, I hate to use this as an example because I don't want anyone who's selling it to hurt them. If you look at, for example, oil diffusers, and I use that one as an example all the time. If you go on page one of oil diffusers, you'll see majority of page one is the same oil diffuser. It's the exact same one. And in reality, there's only 3 variations of an oil diffuser on page one. But because of that, and because of those that one where that owns majority of page one, all those Me Too copycats, what used to sell a year and a half ago for $39, today sells at 19 and change. Actually, 2 weeks ago, selling at 22 and change. So every week I look at it, and again, I use it as an example in coaching, so that's why I'm looking at it all the time. It's constantly dropping in price. Why? Because there's so many of these copycats that how do you compete? You're competing on price.
So this is a really interesting topic that I again, brilliant point, John, and something that I raise to my students a lot is that always go into, when you're picking the product selection, try and pick a brand that you can accessorize, that you can then add something on that will potentially have that customer wanting to come back to you every month on month, and strike that relationship. And I'm going to go into a little example on how to do that further on in the webinar. But is that something that you would recommend the listeners who are about to go on this brand building journey, is look at a product that they can accessorize to grow out as a brand?
Absolutely. And look at bundling opportunities.
Yeah.
Look at product, look what's frequently bought with. You know, and there's because a lot of times you see a product, it could be like a $20, $25, $30 product, and it's frequently bought with a $10 product, which in reality, that $10 product probably costs about $1. And that's something that you can bundle together because they're buying it. Most people, from what Amazon's telling us, they're already buying it together. So, you could add $5 to the cost. It's costing you an extra $1, and you're saving the consumer, and makes your offer a better offer.
So I got a really interesting question here, John, and obviously this one's going to be, it's while you were talking there, and he says to me, don't you think that Amazon will just end up like another eBay, great for buyers, but not so great for sellers? And that can't happen, George. And I know that John will answer that as well, probably a little bit more forcefully than what I would. But that can't happen because Amazon's a shopping engine, George, and Amazon wants to serve the shopper the most relevant product to give that shopper the best shopping experience or the best brand experience. And this is what we're talking about, is eBay is a different animal. eBay is about putting products that are around about the place. There's no real kind of brand protection. There is, but you've got to fight for it. But for me, Amazon is a completely different ballgame, and I can see Amazon moving down that route. And lastly, just to conclude as well, John, and again, I'm absolutely amped. I know that you're flying out to something that's very close to you, and everybody will find out about what that is at the end of this webinar as well at the weekend, and you've been working relentlessly on that project. But just to kind of wrap up and say to you, how important do you feel it is to become or to be a diverse marketer, not just to have a product on Amazon, but to understand traffic from Facebook, understanding the principle of paid traffic inside Amazon, Twitter, Instagram, and all of these other sources to drive your sales? How important do you feel as a seller is that now?
Well, here's the thing. I think I can simplify it in one statement that I people who know me have heard this one a million times. Is first of all, I think it's critical, and here's why. If we look at some of these courses that we referred to, without mentioning any names,
sure,
is what those courses do is they teach us to do with 90 to 95% of Amazon sellers do not do. And what I think is critical to current and future success in this business is to do what 90 to 95% of those folks who got all those courses are not doing. And that was one of the things that really intrigued me when we met and you told me what you were doing, is that you're doing stuff that other people are not doing, and you're getting results. And I think that's critical. If you want an edge on your competition, don't do the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's part of, and if you're doing the same thing that they're doing, there's a good chance that stuff's probably not working anymore because Amazon changed. So working with someone who's got their finger on the pulse of what's now working ahead, staying on top of the changes as they happen or shortly thereafter, and doing things that other people are not doing that gets results, I think is critical. It's critical. And again, I go back to that's why so many people are struggling that have bought some of these courses recently. And when I say recently, in the last year, is because the changes are happening so rapidly that these courses have not been able to keep up with those changes. So therefore, and not that it was done intentionally, but what's being taught is old news.
And do you think that that's because the people who are teaching them are not entirely, potentially not invested in the Amazon with the Amazon movement with their own physical products, John? Do you think that it might be the case that they're teaching methods of old after selling a product, for example? Because one of the main reasons why I wanted to jump back in was because not only do I have a £1 million Amazon store, but to jump back in at grassroots level and start all over again because I want to bathe in what's new. Do you feel that might have been part of the problem? Is that the coaches that are some of the coaches that are out there are not really practicing on Amazon? They're just passing on information that's kind of somewhat dated.
I definitely think that's a big part of it. You know, if you're not in there intimately involved and in the trenches every single day, how do you know? I mean, how do you know? And again, I mean, I'm not going to imagine a 400-pound doctor telling me you need to lose weight and get in shape.
Yeah.
Credibility they have. Obviously, they don't know how to do it. Conceptually, they know that you need to do it. It's important. And they may have read a book on how to get in shape and lose weight. They don't know how to do it because they're not practicing it. So I do agree with that there's a level of I don't want to say ignorance because that's kind of negative. It's just that, if you're not in there in the trenches, pounding away at this thing all the time, there's no way that you that you're going to be on the cutting edge of this thing and have and therefore can teach people how to really excel in this business. Yeah,
and just one final question from Gary, John, and then I'll let you get back to your really busy day or evening rather. And he says, I've seen that China have caught on with manufacturers selling private label products, which is a great question, directly on Amazon and much cheaper. Do you see this becoming a problem? And I know that one of the reasons why that happens is the Chinese government subsidize the actual shipping fees in, Gary, but most of these products end up as add-on items. And I think Amazon has got a little trick up its sleeve for them. But John, I'm going to let you answer that question as well. And what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think more than that, hijackers is definitely an issue.
Yeah.
And you can see that is something that probably started about a year ago. And you see them coming on hard and fast. It's something that I deal with every day. There are tactics and strategies to work with them. And Amazon claims that they recognize that, because Amazon has a big problem with that and they have to address it because in essence, what these hijackers are doing is committing fraud. Now, I mean, there's a lot of argument whether Amazon really gives a rip about us sellers, but I can tell you this, they do care about the consumer. Everything is about the buying experience. Everything is about the consumer. Amazon does put the consumer first. So if you think about it, somebody creates a listing, creates a brand, and somebody from China hijacks it and sells a counterfeit product. When the consumer is going to that listing, they're looking at the images, they're reading the reviews, they're picking that product, and they're not, and it's not what they're receiving.
Yeah, and a $2 product from China is not an Amazon shopping experience, right?
Right, and again, what these guys do is they'll show up in a poly bag or a plain white or brown box. It's not what's in the picture, and and in many cases, again, because I've experienced this, it's generated negative reviews, things of that nature where, you didn't buy it from me, but, it's still my listing. And so Amazon's aware of that. And Amazon is definitely looking at that, not because they want to take care of us, but because they need to and want to take care of the consumer. Because this is a major problem that could potentially bite Amazon in the butt because it is fraud when someone thinks they're buying one thing and they get another, and Amazon has not created the system to prevent that. So they are aware of it and they are taking action to fix that. But I think like any other big company, and Amazon being one of the biggest, doesn't happen overnight.
Well, I mean, that's one of the other importances that we drill into our students and brand partners is that you must trademark and you must get your intellectual property rock solid right out the gate. But again, I can see that being a play where the same way that Google had to stand up and take notice when keywords when accounts were bidding on trademark terms. I think the same thing will happen in Amazon, and that shift will move. But it's all a matter of time. But like you say, John, and quite rightly so, if it doesn't benefit the consumer, Amazon is going to just shut it down. It's as simple as that. They do care about the seller because we make up 40% of their revenue, let me tell you. But I think that you're 100% right in terms of if it's all about the consumer. If it doesn't benefit the consumer, Amazon will shut it down.
And I agree with you. And here's another thing too that's very important that I'd like to mention is that this is such an amazing opportunity, this Amazon game. This is our generation's gold rush. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I do talk, I'll come across people all the time that just worry too much.
Yep.
It's not going to be perfect. It's absolutely not going to be perfect. I remember a good buddy of mine who was really, really helpful to me in my early days in this business and really, really helped, catapult me to success early on. And I used to get frustrated with some of the things that were going on, fake negative reviews, whatever it is. And his response to me was, welcome to the world of selling on Amazon. There's going to be good things and there's going to be negative things. And what you don't want to do is just second guess and question, because what that does is it creates fear, doubt, insecurity, which creates hesitation. If you wait for all the lights to turn green, you're never going to get going. You're not. So there always will be challenges. You just gotta, there is millions and millions and millions of product opportunities on Amazon. Some of them harder than others. I use this analogy all the time. So Michael, if you were in my office right now, and I'm looking across my desk and there's a closet door. And I told you on the other side of that door is a huge pot of gold. And it's yours. You just got to get through the door. Now, standing at the door are two guys. One of them is a 250-pound, 6'6", solid muscle NFL linebacker.
Yep.
And the other one's 5'5", 90 pounds, soaking wet. You only got to get through one of them, and you can pick. And once you get through them, the result's the same. It's the pot of gold. Which one are you going to pick?
Well, dudes, I tell you what, I'm doing whatever it takes to get through the door.
But again, you're smarter to pick the little guy. It's easier. So, and I equate that to product selection.
Yeah.
Why are you going to fight the 250-pound guy to get to the pot of gold? You don't have to. You can pick the little guy and still get that pot of gold. And a lot of that has to do with product selection. I mean, it always, for me, that's like one of the number one skills that you want to master. Is product selection. And so, yes, is there sometimes challenges because of the Chinese and stuff? Yes, but they're not doing that in all the products. So find the right product. Get good, hone your skills on product selection. Don't get frustrated. Don't second guess. Don't keep asking, what if, because you'll never get going. You'll never get going.
Just go ahead and do it, right? Just get it done. Find the algorithm that we've built, that we've reverse engineered, that shows you the trajectory of the sales across a year. It's the volatility of that keyword using Google Keyword Trends. There's no system like that, John. So if those systems were around back when Amazon was easy, can you imagine?
It would be a game changer.
So
an absolute game changer.
But it's so the word of advice from John Gill, $1 million a month, and one of my close friends and an absolute amazing guy. And you're going to find out just how amazing at the end of this webinar. Also comes on, gives you his words of wisdom. Guys, can I just get a hell yes again in the chat box? And John, listen, I know how busy you are, and I know how amped you were to support me and come on here as well after our conversation in Clearwater. But again, dude, I can't wait to sit down and speak with you soon. I know that you're on a flight to Ecuador on Saturday. Is it Friday or Saturday? Tomorrow. Well, listen, I want to wish you a safe journey. There's something magical happening out there that you're going to be very, very, very influential in, and I can't wait to be a part of that with you as well. But on behalf of myself and all the sons and daughters of Amazon, John, we wish you a safe flight, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, mate. And I want to thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just can't put into words to thank you, the support that you've given me, on this this effort to help the earthquake victims in Ecuador. Dude, you've gone above and beyond. Again, I can't express in words my appreciation for all your help. There's a lot of people who are going to be touched by this, and the things that you've done and your community has done to help me. And thank you.
No, pleasure, absolute pleasure, John. One of Amazon's great sellers and one of life's very, very good guys. So thanks for joining me tonight, John. I look forward to rocking out with you with a beer very soon, my friend.
Mate.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
And thanks again. I really appreciate it. And thanks for your community, allowing me to come on here.
We're just glad we got you on in the end. Technical gremlins, but we got you there.
It was embarrassing, man. I was trying to figure out how to turn my computer on. It's pretty sad.
I forgot my passwords 3 times. It's all good, man. We got there in the end. Thank you very much, John. Safe flight.
Cheers,
bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Bye-bye. So, sons and daughters of Amazon, that was John Gill. Now, a lot of you guys will already know him as the $1 million selling Amazon seller. So he's phenomenal at what he does. Hugely successful. But John also holds up to $600,000 per month in stock. So there's the ups and the downs. And again, guys, if you do want to go ahead and subscribe, you can look in the offer box. That offer box is there. That will be sold out by the end, and the price will double after the sellout happens. So take advantage of that offer. But I'm going to go ahead and proceed and show you what else is in store for you with this 12-month journey. So the future of Amazon is brands. You've not just heard it from me. I've not just shown you demos of real Amazon accounts, but you've heard it from the $1 million a month man himself, John Gill, who has come on and told you that Amazon isn't what it used to be, and the best sellers and the world's most recognized Amazon marketers are recognizing that. And I am the only marketer and coach who has built a software system to help safety net his students, and also to make sure that you're safeguarded against product selection, product profit, and the actual margins in there as well. Now, I've got some two key important questions that I really want to get back at from NP, but it's not Amazon related, but I want to answer it at the end of the module. But let me just go ahead and get through the webinar and present the offer to everybody who is on the line, because we're now pushing towards 11 p.m. here in the UK. So consistent growth and zero dip is what I am all about. This is one of my students' actual stores. You can see here that this year so far, or this was in 2015, my apologies, is 896,000. Not quite the million, but the year before that, 734,000. So look at the blue graph. The blue graph stayed above the red, guys, and that is basically what brand behavior brings to the table. You can see where the one size fits all, you get the rapid, you had the consistent movement, and then you had the rapid dip. We know what's happening in there, and we're going to show you how to avoid that. Here again, another student who applies the brand principles, again in the US, 320,000. This student wasn't mine up until September when he joined me. He was struggling to get out of around about the $15,000 mark, and we triggered the spike. And as you can see here again, guys, if I just go ahead and highlight this, we actually took him to 191,356.21, and that was for the month of November. And you can see the trajectory has went all the way on, and it's actually stayed level now here. Now, this is actually on course to be a $1.2 million store, and it is one product, which is $37.62. So this is all about the price. This is all about the margin. Would some of you guys like some of that? So if you had a 40% product that was producing 1.2 million a year, how would that change your life, or how would that make an impact on you? I'm sure it would, right? But we want to make profit, not just to better our lifestyle, but to bring new products to market, because that is what I'm all about. And the 7-figure brand formula really is quite simple. It's find a product with brand building potential. I'm going to show you how to do all of that in great depth over expansive modular detail and education, so don't worry too much about that. Do the numbers stack up? We have a full calculation system that's inside Profits Engine that will allow you to see your net profit, how many units you have to sell to make 100,000, 30,000, 50,000 a year, whatever your goal is right now. We have the calculation systems so that you can lay all that out in front of you before you even bring a product to market. Are the people talking about your product? There is no better time, like John said, than the present to jump into the social channels and find out who's actually speaking about the product I'm thinking about bringing to the market. So once you use the Profits Engine product finder, you find the product's got all the numbers behind it. Why not jump over to social and find out who's talking about it? I mean, how easy is this, guys? How easy is it to build a 7-figure brand? But you have to be in it for the long haul, and you have to be in it for the brand building potential. And again, you've got Michael's proven formula and network, and that's something that you guys will be given access to when you've joined up. Now, all of you that know me, you will know that I built and sold actually took a niche that was a giveaway niche, which was the plastic sports bottle market, where a lot of supplement companies would put their logo on the bottle and they would give the bottle away for free, just quite simply to promote the product. So again, this was something that this is something that was really difficult to crack. And when I says that I wanted to go in and attack, when John says go for the little guy, I actually went for the impossible, to be honest with you, because I went after a market that typically a product was given away and had no value. So you would drink your protein shake out of it and done. But what did I do? I innovated and I had product invented, and I actually brought a product to market that it was eventually acquired in May 2015, as I showed you in the earlier slides. But how did I do this, and how did I get this product to market? Well, I did it through using Twitter. So guys, we're in Twitter now. Can you just go ahead and tell me and make sure that you can see the actual Twitter account? Can you just hit me with a yes? Why? Just answering Mary real quickly. Is the course something that we can learn and implement while we continue to run our existing Amazon businesses? Absolutely, 100% yes. So we've got Y, Gary, Masood, Cedric. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much for letting me know. Angela, Charles, Kunal, Jason, Steve. Yes, yes, yes. So let's say, for example, I was in the sports nutrition niche, which I was, and I wanted to find a whole load of sports nutrition users. So what I would do is, what did my product do? It held protein shakes. So what I would do is type in protein shakes and hit enter. And what Twitter will do is it will kindly unlock the fire hose for me. Now, this is going to tell me and show me everybody who uses my product. Now, apologies if we see some half-naked bodies in here. This is just the way that this the Twitter is. Is this suitable for newbies who haven't started private label yet? Steve, absolutely 110% is. We will take you from grassroots level all the way straight through to selling on Amazon. And it's a year journey, remember. So this is getting you to 6-figure status. And we will take you from the product selection process all the way straight through. Why is the reason why I want to bring you and make you the best marketer you can be is because I want to partner with each and every one of you. I want to get the best select, and I want to bring a product to market with you. That's it. So that's the game plan. I'm going to introduce you to the software. I'm going to give you everything that you will need, tools, education, resources, a lot to make you the best marketer. But let's stick on point right now. Let's look at Twitter. So again, we've got protein shakes. If I wanted to contact Jodie, who I know is a UK celebrity, B-list or Z-list, but if I wanted to get bigger or die trying, or Andrea, I would engage with Andrea and I would say, hey, Andrea, does your shaker bottle do this? And what I would do is I would send her or post a tweet of my video and say to her, does your protein shaker do this? Immediately, the protein shaker would come to life and it would automatically engage that customer. There's two things that are going to happen through this, guys, is Andrea's automatically going to follow me back. That means that I can then get access to her direct inbox. And that means that I can say, Andrea, would you like me to send you one for free? And what's going to happen is she's going to send me her full postal address, her first name, second name, and her mobile number. And once I get her mobile number, I can then retarget her for more products all the way throughout the whole of social media. And guess what? Profits Engine's got a system that will allow you to retarget all the way straight through inside social media. Now, how cool is that, guys? Can I get a hell yes if you think that software system is really cool? Has anybody ever thought about using Twitter for going in here and actually going through thousands, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of users of your product to ask them if they would like to try your product? Has anybody did this? This was one of the reasons why I was listed as a Twitter success story, but I actually thought that it was so much of a no-brainer. Now, this is Twitter's fire hose. And as we move forward, and it's part of the mega bonus that I will explain to you, so don't worry that you're going to have to learn all of this on your own, this is Twitter's fire hose. and we can unlock up to 250,000 user handles of a specific key term. Now, this is protein shakes, which is quite open, but if I wanted to close that off into a phrase, for example, then I could bring back tweets that were talking about protein shakes in the actual variation, like so. I love protein shakes in there, I might put as well. So if I was to put I love protein shakes, God knows what I'm going to get back with that. But hey ho, we'll try it. And again, we've got that full sentence in black there. You can see it, I love protein shakes. So we know that this guy, this dude is a diehard selfier. He loves his selfies. He definitely loves his protein shakes. And you imagine if I showed him the video of, does your protein shake do this? What's going to happen? Automatically, he's going to buy our product. And this is just one method. The other method that we can use inside Twitter, if we jump back over into, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the back button. I don't want to spend too much time on this, guys, because this is the webinar after all, is we can actually limit this to region. So we can put people who are near here, we can look at accounts, we can see who the authorities are. So if we want to get celebrities to try and retweet our product, I'm going to show you methods how to get around all of this. I'm going to show you how to get the right person and the right movement and the right followers hooked on your product. And my own physical product was over 100,000 social followers, and it's what turned it into a 7-figure brand. Will there be a replay of this, Giselle? There might very well be. But for now, let's just go ahead and keep steaming forward. So guys, that is a brief trick. But one thing I just want to show you real quick, really quickly, is I go into my main account here inside Twitter. What can happen is we can create lists. Now, if we get an engaged audience who is interested in our product, what we can do is we can have them noted as ones to watch, really loved my bottle, was really interested, but isn't getting paid till Friday, right? So you can have a whole bunch of people who are getting paid. And then what we can do is we can jump inside Twitter's ad manager and we can serve targeted adverts to every single one of the lists based on the topical conversations that we get back. So you can tailor an advert round about the discussion points. How good is that? Pretty cool. So again, you can target. Nobody's using Twitter. I don't get it. All I hear is, oh, Twitter. Twitter's not. It's not. You can't really use it anymore. It's dying. Nobody uses it. It is ridiculous. It is the only two-way conversation platform, and it is the #1 platform for growing and building your Amazon business. And I am going to teach you all about that. How often should you use Twitter, Lee? Every single minute. My last business account had 35,500 tweets, all of which were done with my thumbs. Yes, I know it's sad, and I'm still managed to stay married. So that just gives you an indication of how much you have to use it. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back straight into the presentation and steam forward. So this is one of the ways that you can literally crowdfund your audience, guys. So if we go back across and we have a look at, we have a look at Twitter and we say, if we want Twitter to serve an advert here, what we would do potentially, again, going back into protein shakers, is to show them how to crowdfund and how you can crowdfund your first order from China before we've even manufactured. Is we could say to this account holder, Savage, for example, how would you like, does your shaker bottle do this? Would you like to pre-order? So for example, would you like to pre-order? So if you like to pre-order, you could then drive them back to your landing page that would have a pre-order for them. It won't take any money, but it will track their email address. So you're data building right out the gate. So at the end of the day, what you can do, guys, is inside Profits Engine, again, you're getting free access to this. And what will happen is your $2,800 free website is already there for you. And this is your free website right here. And of course, it's tailored for cycling gloves because that is what we're looking at right now. And can you guys see your free website on the screen? Can you just give me a yes if you can see the website, guys? Can you see that? Because this website will be built inside 8 minutes with zero coding. All you have to have is your graphics and some text round about your product. And this is free for you. This is included. So this is similar to a Shopify funnel. Someone said to me, is the majority of Facebook sales made through a Shopify store? Well, actually, yes, that's because they're driving traffic into the app, but Profits Engine will also have an app similar to Shopify. So I will let you make up your decision. So we see here like brand name fitness, brand name kitchens. Yeah, exactly like that, Giselle. So it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter what the brand name is, and you punch into Twitter, it will find people who are talking about that. You can even look at if you've got a baking product and the Great British Bake Off or the Great US Bake Off is on, you can find people talking about baking and go and sell them that product in real time and engage with them. That is exactly what I would want to do. That's how it should be done. So let's go ahead and jump back into the presentation and we'll move forward and get things wrapped up for tonight. So let's go back into the Hangout and stop sharing screen. And what we'll do is we'll go back here and share screen here and go back down. And guys, you've been really patient tonight. Thank you so much. So this is the live broadcast and we're back. So we're back inside the PowerPoint presentation where we're coming to the end of it. Again, if you want to go ahead and just jump straight in, guys, can you let me know that you can see the presentation? Just hit me with a Y, a yes, thumbs up, whatever. If you go to the right-hand side, all you have to do quite simply is opt into that offer immediately. If you don't want to wait until the end, you could, because this offer is going to go up by $1,000 by the end of this presentation inside the next 24 hours. Now, if you follow what I show you inside the sons and daughters of Amazon, I can guarantee you unequivocally growth and consistent above the curve, consistent growth inside your brand. I will guarantee you a brand building opportunity. Every single one of my businesses have did it, and I will continue to do it, and I do it for my students every single day. It takes a little bit of time to bite in. That's why I've got you over the year. Here's another example of one of my stores, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight some numbers for you. You can see here, guys, that there's a 61% ordered product sales growth. You can see here last year, this particular store, 986,844, not quite the million again on this store, but this year so far, 442,000, and it's a 61% increase over on last year at the same time frame. So if we apply that metric, then we will do about 1.4 to 1.3 or 1.5 million pounds in this particular store here, with price point here. Now, we use a lot of retargeting methods to drive more traffic back in, but again, guys, not going to talk about that on a webinar. I'm going to show you inside mass conversions. So let's go ahead and steam forward. So apply what I show you and you will get consistent brand building results, which is sales and growth. So you've heard from two of the best Amazon marketers in the world. As you've heard it from the horse's mouth, from John Guild, you've heard it from myself, who has been quoted by many of the world's top podcasts over the last 6 months. There is way more to success on Amazon than simply selling on Amazon. This is something that a lot of people do not want to let you know, and coaches don't want to let you know that, because again, guys, they then think, well, if you don't know how to drive traffic outside, you're not going to subscribe to their course, right? Thankfully, I'm going to have you covered on that front. But I do promise you, you still have a ton to learn, and it's all good, which is why I invite you on my 12-month journey. And if you're wondering what you get at this stage because you've not yet opted in or whatever, then we've created 52 modules over the shoulder training experience for you called Sons and Daughters of Amazon, where we will literally break down the complete 7-figure system and walk you through how to begin your own successful e-commerce business step by step, starting on Amazon. Now, it's not all about Amazon. It's starting on Amazon. Remember that. So if we can build a 6-figure business on Amazon, imagine what we can do when we combine forces of all the other platforms. What you're also going to get is you're going to discover insider ways to easily identify highly profitable niches. You'll be doing this through using a simple but effective Profits Engine method that nobody else has, because it's exclusive, because I built it and I designed it. What you also get is you'll discover how to acquire brand samples at the right price point for you. And that's also the right price point at profit margin, guys. We will also advise on the different logistics and packaging options so you can get the products branded and produced to Amazon specification smoothly. So literally, once you have the product zeroed in, it's time to get your brand into FBA to start making sales. You'll learn how to craft the best brand-worthy titles and descriptions and get your product ranked on the first page fast. You'll also learn how to properly brand your product so you are well protected from trademark and patent infringement. Again, guys, we're almost at the offer, but I'm just going to bonus recap for you. For those who stayed to the end, I'm gifting you a free branded website anyway. That's worth $2,800 in value. Plus, you're getting 90-day access to the Profits Engine software, which has a $1,200 annual value. And now I'm going to gift you my mega bonus, which is access to my new mass conversion secret Facebook group. I'm going to give you access to China Global Sourcing Mastery that will teach you all of the pitfalls, what to watch out for, what the best factories are, which is worth around $3,500. I'm giving you access to Tweet Academy, which will give you a full 28-module breakdown on how I became a 7-figure brand inside Twitter with over 100,000 followers, and showing you how to convert 85K of sales from a £300 ad spend. Does that sound pretty cool? So if you just want to hit me a yes on there, I'm happy with that. That's a value at $1,999 also. Facebook Mastery, I'm going to show you how to drive traffic from Facebook to your Amazon product. That value is $2,490. And Amazon Keyword and Paid Search Mastery also, that value is $1,499. That's a gift mega bonus giveaway total of $13,488 for a one-off annual subscription of just $1,950, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Guys, it's a one-off annual subscription of just $1,950 because I said at the beginning of the webinar, I'm not going to upsell you. I could easily have brought you in, could easily have got all the big names on the webinar and then upsold you all of the courses, but there is no upsells guarantee. I will give you everything because I want to make you the best marketer. Why? Because the more products that you sell, the more chances there is that I want to partner with you. This movement will change lives through the power of education. I said it right at the start of the webinar, and here's the reason why. Because I'm about to donate 50% of all subscriptions of this webinar tonight. I made the decision to donate 50% of all subscriptions on behalf of all sons and daughters of Amazon who join me, who are you, to the following rebuilding process. And it's on behalf of my good friend, John Guild, who is flying out to Ecuador. You did hear him say that on Friday, to start the rebuilding process of a school that is close to his wife's family, because this school had 300 pupils in it. They've already raised just and I got actively involved because I want to push them over the top. This is the reason why I'm helping John, not just because he's an amazing guy, but he really does so much for charity. But I also do a lot of stuff for charity myself. And when John reached out, I couldn't think of a better person, and I wanted to put my movement and my movement's name to it, and that's the Sons and Daughters of Amazon. So I'm asking you one thing, guys, if you do nothing else. You go up to the top right-hand side, you go to the offer, you click, you opt in, you change your life, you change other people's lives. It's as simple as that. It's a one-off annual subscription of just $1,950. This price will increase to $2,450 within 24 hours. Don't believe me, don't opt in. You will see the price increase. It's complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee with a no upsell guarantee also. I've spoke to many authorities. When John seen the price of this, he couldn't believe it. He thought it should have been at least $5,000. But again, I want you guys to keep the money for your stock so that you can push forward and get your inventory sorted out. So go ahead and click the link and opt in. The link is here. It's massconversions.com/payment for you to go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and click the offer. The offer is pretty much almost obsolete as we speak. So if you can, go ahead and opt in. And I can't wait to see you inside the course. Michael Devlin, and from Bill, who is on his way out to the disaster zone, or ground zero as he called it, in Ecuador. He's out there on Friday. I wish him all the best. Safe travels, absolute gentleman. And guys, girls, thanks for joining me on tonight's webinar. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you learned tons. Thanks.